Good morning. I'm Laurie A for Lauren Halifax, and welcome to WDAF TV4, Fox 4, your Kansas City television station, working for you. Today, in the headlines, Mitt Romney visits Kansas City. And for the third win in a row, congratulations to the Royals. Thank you. You can put your hands down. That is the start to your morning news. Each and every day, thousands of Kansas Cityans watch WDAF TV4, the oldest television station in Kansas City. However, just as you sit down with your cup of coffee, if you do, and watch television, you kind of wonder what goes into that TV show. I mean, do you really think that it starts on the weekdays at 4:30 in the morning, which we just moved that up by 30 minutes, by the way? Actually, I'd like to share with you today, briefly, the sequence of events of what it takes to do that television show. So let's go with 12 midnight. That's when the producer arrives at the television station through the back door and goes up to what is called her desk or pod. She then takes all the information in from what is known as tons, which is our server, our computer server, and brings all the national and international news into our television station. Along with that, she then goes to the assignment reporter who mans the desk 24/7. That person gets phone calls, listens to the radio, and picks up whatever information they can, and that producer then determines what information that you listen to. She puts that in the form of scripts. Scripts are basically the words that you hear that the anchors, whether they be on the set or on location, say. And she puts that in sequential order. Those scripts can take the form of either paper scripts, and this is one show. Now, we do 6.5 hours of news, basically in the mornings, and this is only one show. These are the backups to what is known as the teleprompter, which we'll be talking about in just a moment. In addition, those anchors also use iPads now. We've just upgraded to those as well. At 12 midnight, she works, and then about 2 a.m., the director shows up. And the director sits in what is in the control room down in the first floor of the 2-story building that we work in. That director then takes the information that she has put in sequential order, and then he codes that information so that each person knows exactly what to do and where to go. Example being, you may see the anchor sitting at a desk like this. However, for the next block, as we call it, they may go to what is called the kiosk, which is standing in front of a monitor, or also the multi-purpose desk, which is used for a variety of reasons. So they have to be told where to go. That director then codes all the scripts, and basically all that becomes what is called a rundown. And that rundown is created for each and every show. It's segmented by what we call blocks, so we know what block they're in, what line they're on, and those things can be changed at a moment's notice based upon how well the show is going, or if guests show up or the guests do not show up as well. So it's rather interesting. So that's midnight for the producer, 2 a.m. for the director, 3 a.m. the anchors and the on-location reporters show up. They show up without any makeup. They show up in their jeans. Many times Bill Hurlbrink, who does our traffic, will show up with a jacket on the top, jeans and high tops down below. But you can't see down below, you only see up above as he stands in front of what is called the green screen. Each of those people goes to their desks. They put on their makeup. Men too, because we are on HD TV and you do see everything, including one person calling in saying, hey, we can see the nose hairs on your face. So you have to make sure that everything is covered up extremely well. As those people get ready, they look at their scripts. The anchors will edit their scripts. They have the ability to go into the computer and change the wording if they don't like what they see. The off-location reporters get into the truck, who is manned by the photojournalist, and then they go on location to where they're supposed to go. Make sense? At 4 o'clock, that's when somebody like me arrives, and I'm what you call a studio manager. I exchange that position with another person, and what we do is obviously that, which means we go in, we set the studio up for everybody to do their so-called broadcast. So we man the cameras, we make sure the scripts are in front of the anchors, we make sure that they're in sequential order. We also make sure that the rundowns are distributed to the right people so they know where they are at all times during the broadcast. The lighting has to be up in a certain way, the studio has to be clean, and for me, the funniest part is putting out what we call the boxes. Is anybody here familiar with the term boxes? Okay, well, have you ever noticed how those people always seem to be exactly the same height? Isn't that rather amazing how they're exactly the same height? Well, do you think Lauren and Mark are exactly the same height? No, Lauren's taller than Mark. So Mark, when he stands somewhere, sometimes has to stand on a box. And we call those quarters and halves, depending upon how much height we want to give to a person. So for example, when they leave the anchor area or the main desk, which their chairs have to be exactly alike so that they're the same height, if you will, they go off to the multi-purpose area that I mentioned, or the kiosk, and we might have to put a box there so that they're the same height. Or when Al Wallace walks from the multi-purpose area on up to the main desk, there's a box there. So when he walks up there, he stands on that box and he is the same height with everybody else sitting at the main desk. So it's rather fascinating how that all works. Lastly is the teleprompter, and however the teleprompter tends to be the brains and the heart of the organization, because it's that teleprompting, which is what the anchors are reading, located just under the cameras, that controls their rate of speech. So to give you a bit of a laugh, when I was very nervous just starting, it tended to go like this, to the point where Mark Alford, even to this day, says, okay, Laurie, you can move the prompter up so I can speak. And then I know to do that. So the teleprompter, again, controls your rate of speech. So basically, that's the sequential order that you see when you watch WDAF. And once again, this is Laurie Arnold in for Lauren Halifax. Thanks for watching Fox 4. Your time now, 7:31, and it's 47 degrees. Come on back.